Conversations on Growth with Madhu Seidler. Once again, we bring to you a new podcast series, this time focusing on burnout. My name is Adina Arhire, and I am Madhu's discussion companion. How do we define burnout? Who suffers from it? Are there tools to identify burnout? Ahead of you is the first podcast of a 4-part series that explores this rather intense topic. I have a topic for you and a question. I think my friend here, Maria, she's suffering from severe burnout. Okay? And I'm trying to help her a little and understand more about burnout. When we say that, is it really only on a professional, like job-related sense?
When we read about it, most of the time we read about it in connection with our job, with our profession. And most of the time we read about it in the sense of that we are too busy. And burnout, like stress, is almost like something we need to earn because it shows that we are important, that we are successful, that the job cannot be done without us. And so I'm quite, as you can see, quite critical of how burnout is portrayed in magazines and in articles.
So my question is, it's not about the way that burnout is perceived. What about people who actually suffer from burnout? What is it? Like, there has to be a reason why we use it, and maybe some people really have it. It's not just that they use it to get attention or to pretend that they're important. Is this bottom line, is this a true condition? I don't know how to call it. I've read that the word syndrome, and is that accurate? Can we say that it's a syndrome?
Well, I'm not a doctor, but I know from the doctors I work with that yes, burnout can be diagnosed. So I think we really need to differentiate. And in order to help Maria, I've brought my 2 friends here as well. This is Hans and this is Franz. And so burnout needs to be diagnosed because it is like a summary of symptoms that people can have. Like in general, it's what is always there is an overwhelming exhaustion. So that people feel like they are really, really tired, that they have no resources left, either physically or emotionally, that they feel inefficient, that they have the feeling, oh my God, even to do food shopping is just overwhelms me. It's just too much.
But that sounds to me like depression symptoms. Then a lot of these, can they really be associated with burnout?
Well, as I said, burnout is like an umbrella for a lot of symptoms. And depression is like the final stage of burnout. Like when you overexhaust yourself again and again and again, and when you feel like whatever you do, it's just not enough. So you will never be done with all the things that you need to do. When you start retreating from friends because you're just too tired. When, let's say, you're a vivid moviegoer and you love movies, but suddenly you find yourself in the position where you go like, oh man, this is way too much effort. And so this can be symptoms and milestones, let's say, on the road to burnout. This is why if Maria feels like she's really, really tired all the time, that she doesn't like to see her friends anymore, that she finds herself really cynical, that she retreats, that things that usually she enjoys and give her energy, she feels she's too tired for them to do them, then it would be really time to go to see a doctor and to get a proper diagnose. As long as people can walk around and say, well, I'm in a burnout, they are not in a burnout. Because if maybe they are on the road to, and they feel that they're overstretching and overdoing and overexhausting themselves. But if you're really in the end stage of the burnout, you're not walking around talking about it anymore because you have no energy left.
Okay, but what you're telling me though, it doesn't mean that those shouldn't be addressed. You don't need to get into these final stages to actually say you have burnout. You would, because that's not the way I hear it is not good either. You do need to watch for these signs and address them earlier. And if someone comes, you're a business and life coach, so if someone comes and tells you, I'm tired, but you're not really exhausted. It's just like, I'm tired. I don't know where this is gonna go. My schedule is really tight. I don't have time for the things that I like. Should we just take that as, it's okay, they'll be fine? Or should we seriously look at it in the sense of, this happens to way too many people and the focus is way too much on the professional side for a lot of people, on the professional aspect of their lives, neglecting, and we're going into the lack of balance, right? We all want to have a certain balance. So my question is, shouldn't we pay attention though? Should we really wait for someone to be in these final stages to call it a burnout?
I totally agree with you. And like when people come and ask for my support, and they come with, okay, I'm overwhelmed and I have way too many things on my to-do list, and I feel like I cannot stop. Like and especially managers, then they come at 8:00 p.m. for another coaching session, and they're like, well, I can only leave the office because I have an appointment with you. Otherwise, I would be in there until 10, 11, or midnight because I feel like I cannot stop working. So this is like the first sign that, okay, this could be on the road to burnout. So this person could be on the road to burnout. And there's a 12-step description of the roads to burnout. And I will put it on my blog so that people can have a look at all the 12 steps and maybe get a guess where they are on the road, if they feel they are on the road, so that they can make sort of a self-assessment. And yes, the earlier we are aware that something might not go into the right direction, the better it is. So, for example, when we talk about the compulsion to the need, the desire, the urge to finish whatever is on my to-do list, like a compulsion to prove that I'm successful, to prove that I'm worthy, to prove whatever, then it's good to catch it there and go deeper and find the root cause where this compulsion comes from.
Wouldn't that be a workaholic behavior too?
Yes and no. I think it just really depends. For some people, yeah, they do have workaholic phases, or they just love their job and the job gives them energy. And most of the time they can decide, okay, it's enough for today. So I do what I have to do. I do the more important things or the more urgent things. And then they set themselves a time at 8 o'clock, I'm out here, and then I go to dinner with friends or with my colleagues or whatever. And as soon as you lose that competency to actually set a boundary, As soon as there's, it's like I don't know what the English word is right now. Like with nicotine or with alcohol, when you're addicted, addiction. When you're addicted to staying in the office, when you cannot control it anymore, then this would be the first warning sign.
Thank you for listening to the first podcast of Madhu Einsiedler's Improvisations on Growth podcast series that addresses burnout. We hope that you have gained more insight into the definition of burnout and maybe raised some questions that you can explore on your own. You are welcome to share your thoughts and connect with Madhu by emailing her at madhu@einsiedler.at or engaging on her social media. You can find her on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and you can also read her blogs, which are housed on her website. You are also welcome to join Madhu's Facebook group, Improvisations on Growth, for additional conversations. Thank you again for listening.